Have you ever felt a little embarrassed by your parents? Maybe their job, their car, or just the way they dress? It's a feeling many of us have had, but today I want to share a story about a young man named Obi, and how that feeling nearly cost him everything he held dear. Obi was a bright young man, the pride of his village. He was the first in his family to graduate from university, landing a prestigious office job in the bustling city. He wore sharp suits, carried a leather briefcase, and spoke with the polished confidence of a man on the rise. Back home, his father, Kwesi, was a carpenter. Kwesi's hands were not soft and manicured like Obi's. They were a roadmap of his life's work, calloused, scarred, and perpetually dusted with the fine powder of cedar and mahogany. Kwesi could coax life from wood. His creations, sturdy chairs, elegant tables, and intricate carvings filled the homes of everyone in their community. But to Obi, those hands were a symbol of a life he had escaped. They were rough, common, and a stark reminder of his humble beginnings. Whenever Obi returned to the village, a knot of unease would tighten in his stomach. He loved his father, of course, but he couldn't shake the shame. At the local market, when his father's friends would greet him with hearty slaps on the back, their own work-worn hands a mirror of his father's, Obi would flinch. He'd see the city folk he was trying to impress look their way, and he would imagine their judgment. That's his father, he thought they were whispering, the simple carpenter. So, he started visiting less. His calls became shorter. He'd make excuses. He was building a new life, a better life, and his father's world, with its scent of sawdust and sweat, felt like an anchor holding him back. One day, Kwesi came to the city to surprise Obi. He arrived at Obi's sleek, modern office building, holding a small, beautifully carved wooden bird, a gift. Kwesi, in his simple, clean work clothes, looked out of place amidst the glass and steel. When the receptionist announced his father's arrival, Obi's heart sank. He walked out to the lobby and saw his father standing there, a proud, hopeful smile on his face. Obi's colleagues were watching. Instead of a warm embrace, Obi gave his father a curt nod. He quickly ushered him outside, making a flimsy excuse about an urgent meeting. "Father, you should have called," Obi said, his voice tight. "This is a professional environment." The hurt in Kwesi's eyes was a physical blow, but he simply nodded, handed Obi the bird, and quietly left. Obi never put the bird on his desk. He hid it in a drawer, another secret to be kept. Life in the city, however, is as unpredictable as the weather. A few months later, the company Obi worked for went through a major restructuring. His department was eliminated, and just like that, Obi's polished world crumbled. His sharp suits hung in his closet, useless. The confident stride was replaced by a worried shuffle. He sent out resume after resume, but the market was tough. The savings dwindled, and soon, the city that had once seemed full of promise now felt cold and indifferent. Humiliation gnawed at him. He had nowhere else to go. Swallowing his pride, a bitter pill, Obi packed his bags and went home. He arrived at the village not as the triumphant son, but as a failure. The news of his job loss had already trickled through the community. He expected whispers, perhaps even mockery. Instead, he found only quiet sympathy. His father greeted him at the door. There was no "I told you so," no lecture. Kwesi simply wrapped his son in a hug and said, "Welcome home, my boy. You look tired. Come, let's eat." The days that followed were agonizing for Obi. He felt aimless, his university degree and office experience feeling utterly worthless in the village. He watched his father in the workshop, the rhythmic sound of the hammer, and saw a constant reminder of his own idleness. One afternoon, consumed by despair, Obi sat listlessly as his father worked on a large dining table. "The wood speaks, Obi," Kwesi said softly, not looking up from his work. "You just have to learn how to listen." He gestured for Obi to come closer. "Your hands are soft," Kwesi noted, "but they are not weak. They are just inexperienced." Hesitantly, Obi picked up a piece of sandpaper. His first attempts were clumsy. He was impatient, trying to force the wood into submission, much like he had tried to force his life onto a specific path. But Kwesi was a patient teacher. He taught Obi about the grain, how to read its direction, how to respect its strength and weaknesses. He taught him the language of the tools, the gentle persuasion of the chisel, the firm guidance of the plane. "It's not about forcing it, my son," Kwesi would say. "It's a dance. You lead, but you also follow the wood's nature." Slowly, something within Obi began to shift. The repetitive motion of sanding, the focus required for a precise cut, the scent of fresh cut pine, it was therapeutic. It quieted the noisy anxiety in his mind. For the first time in years, he was creating something tangible, something real. He felt a connection to the material, a sense of purpose that his spreadsheets and reports had never given him. He started to see his father's hands not as a source of shame, but as instruments of creation, tools of incredible skill and wisdom. He saw the stories in every callus, the pride in every scar. These were the hands that had built his childhood bed, the hands that had put food on the table, the hands that had funded the education he was once so proud of. Obi's shame transformed into a deep, profound respect. He started incorporating his own ideas, his modern aesthetic, into the traditional designs. He designed a bookshelf with clean, minimalist lines but used the intricate joining techniques his father taught him. Their first joint project was a success. Soon, word of their unique fusion of modern design and traditional craftsmanship spread. Orders started coming in, first from neighboring villages, and then, thanks to photos Obi posted online, from the city. Within 2 years, their small workshop had grown into a thriving business. They hired apprentices from the village, creating jobs and breathing new life into the community. Obi was once again a man of business, but this time it was different. He wasn't wearing a suit. He was wearing a work apron dusted with sawdust. His hands, no longer soft, were becoming a testament to his own hard work. He was earning more than he ever did at his office job, but the money was secondary. He had found fulfillment. One afternoon, a wealthy client from the city visited their workshop. He was the CEO of a large corporation, a man Obi would have once been desperate to impress. The CEO looked around, his eyes wide with admiration for their work. He picked up a small, intricately carved bird from a display shelf. "This is exquisite," the CEO said. "The craftsmanship is remarkable." Obi smiled. He walked over to his own workbench and picked up the bird his father had given him all that time ago, which now sat in a place of honor. "It was the first piece that taught me what true value is," Obi said, looking at his father, who was beaming with pride. In that moment, holding the two birds, Obi understood. Success wasn't about escaping your roots, it was about building upon them. It wasn't about the softness of your hands, but the strength and skill within them. His father hadn't been holding him back, he had been holding the foundation for his entire future. Thank you so much for watching. If this story resonated with you, please hit that like button and subscribe for more stories that inspire and uplift. See you in the next video.